You get your kicks flying too close to stars? Because you're putting out some interesting radiation. Sounds like you're just the type of pilot the Vanguard's looking for.
You might be Freestar Ranger material.
Give it your all out there. Supra et Ultra.
Don't mess with me!
You think you're just gonna walk up here and get us to surrender?
You killed a Terramorph. Holy shit.
So tell me, stranger, how do I know you're gonna deal straight with us?
Make us look good out there, recruit.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Starfield Report podcast. I am your host, Kenny Smyson, and with me, as always, is Jax Wiley. How you doing, Jax?
I'm doing wonderful. Good morning, captains. How are y'all doing today?
And we've been out, how do they say, touching some grass the last couple of weeks. Both of us had back-to-back vacations, so do apologize for the absence, but sometimes I need to get away from my hobbies to enjoy my hobbies.
Yeah, they say absence makes the heart grow fonder.
It does.
I'm so much fonder of you today than I was yesterday, sir.
Yeah, me too. I'm fonder of each other too, not just the game. Okay. Okay. Let's see. So 2 weekends ago, I was I live in Redding, California, and I drove over to the coast, which is if you're a single dude just cruising out, you can make it in about 2.5 hours. But when you got a 6-year-old and a baby and a wife, it's like a 4-hour drive. So we went out to the coast, and we usually do like a bit more stuff, but this time we didn't. We just did our stuff. We just went to the beach and kept it simple this time. But my daughter loves running around on the beach in the sand and all that, so we had a good time. Getting out of the Reading heat, because Reading gets hot during the summer. We'll get hottest I've seen Reading was 119. So, but yeah, we'll get heat waves where we clear 100 degrees for a week straight, almost every summer.
We had like 75% humidity for the last week since I got back into town, and 92, 91, 92. So heat index has been like 105 every day.
Yeah.
And I can't get these guys in my shop to keep the darn doors closed. We've got air conditioning. Shut the door.
Yeah, that's one thing. I've only been to Texas one time in 2008, and I would rather deal with 100-degree heat in Reading than 80 degrees in Texas, because that humidity sucks. Dry heat's not bad, but
yeah, 90 degrees in Colorado was no problem. 80 degrees here is just gasping for air.
yeah.
So,
and then last weekend you drove up to Dallas for a convention.
I did. I got some stuff. Look,
some swag.
Yeah.
It's a little
North Texas RPG Convention 2026, 18th annual. That was such a good time. It was playing Dungeons and Dragons and different role-playing games like that with all of my buddies. Had 5 of my crew from the Council of the Heroes. We got 13 council members in our group, and 5 of us made it to this convention. And while there, we sat and played big role-playing games, desktop dice rolling role-playing games for a week. And just ran into other people we've met over the years at other conventions and talked games, drank a bunch of beer, ate a bunch of great food, and just, in general, just had a great time. It was so awesome. Lots of fun. No drama. No nothing. Just no work.
Yep.
I came back feeling so refreshed. It was great.
Yeah, it's always a good feeling coming back from vacation and batteries recharged and all that.
Yeah.
And good news is today we actually have something to report on the Starfield Report podcast, and that is the Starfield update from 2 days ago. Was it? Yeah, June 11th, so 2 days ago. Update 1.16.244. just some patch update stuff. Not really any new content, but definitely fixing some issues. So the latest update to Starfield has arrived, containing multiple stability fixes as well as addressing several gameplay and UI issues. All right. Go ahead and scroll on down. Okay. So, in the general stuff here, we got, okay, now it is available on all platforms. General is they fixed a freeze that could occur when traveling to a planet's surface. I've never had a freeze traveling to the surface, but I've had a slight increase in my game crashes when I do the land, game will just completely shut down. I mean, that's probably like not even once per play session. So but it's more than usual. I would say.
Seems like I was thinking the same thing. It seemed like I've had a few more just crash to desktop crash to console top, whatever, on the console to the main screen and just crash out and have to start the game over completely over. A little more than usual, it seems like.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like every other patch they put out. You've got a few more crashes for a week or so, and I don't know if they like hot fix it on the backside and nobody ever sees it, and then it kind of goes away, and you're like, oh, well, this isn't so bad now. So I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll
like a little super small update where they don't necessarily even put any information out like this. So
just a hot fix that corrects whatever crashing they identify and go, oh, we need to like switch this from A to B. There we go, fixed it.
Yep. All right, next up, we got addressed an issue that could cause black box incursions to not start or reset properly. Now, I'm wondering if this is also fixing the problem with the black boxes that I've seen in the comments to some of our past videos, specifically that Terran Armada bug video we did. There was a lot of people commenting on that. That was for the quest not proceeding because of going to Anchor Point first before you started the Terran Armada quest line,
right?
And Delta would not talk to you or no, the bartender would not have the proper line of dialogue, right?
Yeah,
so
Delta wouldn't talk to you either.
Yeah,
both are true.
So in this case, though, there was a lot of people commenting, probably searching Terran Armada bug to see if they could find it. But the black boxes would physically not be there. Now, on our last episode, you made the point that, and sorry, guys, we're spoiling Terran Armada. If you haven't played Terran Armada, play.
If you haven't figured out what our podcast is yet, we talk about all of it.
Yep. Well, we kind of spoil it as we go, so we don't jump way to the end. But if we've talked to something prior to this and today's episode,
if you've not experienced the quest yet, and you're following along, and you don't want spoilers, stop, go play the quest, and then come back and listen to what we say, and then you can join the conversation.
Yeah, and this is specifically what is it? Going Haywire is the quest we're going through tonight.
That's what we're doing today. Yep.
Yep.
A little later on.
But anyways, the black boxes would physically not be there. Now you discovered just by happen chance that you already had you had one black box in your inventory. You had the first one. You have to get 3, right? You interacted with it by clicking A or whatever, and it did the animation in reverse, putting it back. Recorded you as having 2, but you physically had 0 on you.
Right.
So that was thankfully a weird workaround for you to get through it.
It worked, but it was, and it had me like kind of stumbling around a minute going, okay, do I continue? Should I save here? Should I go back and try it again and see if it fixes it? I did go back and I did try it again, and it didn't fix the animation. So I just kept going, and it allowed me to finish the quest anyway. So I didn't have any problems other than the animation was a little wonky. That was fine. Yeah,
and so far I've not had any issues with the Terran Armada quest. Not a single. Well, get into it in the game. There's a gameplay little bug I had, but it wasn't related to the quest. We'll get into that later. But so I'm hoping that this is maybe fixing that issue for other players. And I wonder too, some players were saying, I'm stuck, I can't find it. I'm wondering if just because they didn't have a quest marker taking them right to it, but maybe if they interacted with the space physically was supposed to be in, maybe they could have still gone up and tapped A, and even though I don't know, just
Yeah, that's one of those things where in specific instances you got to really be able to talk to the person and what exactly are you doing and what can we do to fix
Mhm.
that? Like you say, I mean, maybe they were not interacting with the environment closely enough to where the box was supposed to be, so nothing was happening.
yeah. There was one guy I was able to. I don't think he ever responded, but I did explain to him what you had done, because that was on the video prior to you actually getting to that point and telling the audience
Mhm.
about doing that. So
I tried looking at the comments on that because you sent me a message to go check the comments, and the comment that he had made that you were specifically talking about did not show up under the comments when I was looking for it. So I couldn't respond to the guy. I was like, I
oh,
don't
that's
see
weird.
any of that anywhere. So yeah, maybe my phone just hadn't synced up with Discord or something. I don't know. I happened to be at work at the time when I saw all that.
Hmm.
But sorry, I really would have. I I don't do much social media, but whenever Kenny says, "Hey, somebody's talking to you, you need to go check it out," I run right over and go, "Oh, hey, what's up going on, hey, guys?" you know.
So, all right, so let's see what else we got here. Fix the crash that would occur if a designer couch was placed aboard a ship. I never had that happen personally. Um,
Only stuff I do like that is like when I first get through the Unity,
mhm.
I'll be on the Starborn ship and I'll
Sure.
go find a corner and throw a bed down.
Yep, a bed.
Not a couch, but a bed. And I've
Yep.
never had any problems with that.
Yeah. The first couple universes, it was a bed and a research station.
Yeah.
But now, yeah,
I'm not going to stay in that ship very long. I just need to be able to rest.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. Addressed an infinite load that would occur if a data slate display was placed aboard a ship. General crash and stability fixes. I'm not familiar with that particular bug myself.
I don't know exactly that one, but I did yesterday no, this morning I got up just before I got on with you. I fired the game up and hit load and picked my newest save and it said, "Do you want to load this?" I said, "Yes." And then it gives you like the little circle on the side that looks like the
Mm-hmm.
circle spinning. And it froze up. And I
Oh,
sat there for a few minutes because I didn't notice it. I was drinking my coffee and feeding the dog and came back over. Oh, that's weird. It's still not going yet. Go do my thing, come back and look, and I'm like, oh, it's froze.
yep.
So that may be what they're talking about. Those kind of things happen to me, and it's video gaming, and I just move on with life. I don't
Yeah,
worry
yeah,
about it.
exactly. All right, let's see. In gameplay, they fixed an unresponsive state that could occur when attempting to go through load doors while using the scanner. Now, I never have doors open when I have my scanner out. I don't even get the option.
Huh.
Do you?
Um,
I'm assuming when they say
well,
load
I don't
doors,
recall.
they mean a door that it's loading you into a new area.
I guess, or
But
even if you're just going from one room to the next in a cell, because they changed that from the beginning of the game, where when you had your scanner out, you couldn't interact with anything,
oh yeah, it was
and
awful.
then they had an update to where you could have your scanner out. Oh, excuse me. You could have your scanner out, and then you could interact with objects by picking
Mhm.
stuff up. Picking up ammunition and you know,
Yeah, I can
things.
interact with bodies to get the loot. I can pick up items, but to my knowledge, I can't open any door. I'll have to play
I
around with
thought you
that.
could open doors, but that's something I will specifically have to go try
Yeah.
because it's not something I don't like the ring around the scanner while you're walking around. It's so distracting to me.
Yeah, it's a
And so I
bit
just use it
much.
to identify interactable objects in the room,
Hmm.
identify them, and then turn it off and go do what I'm going to do.
Yeah. I mean, I use it to. Well, I had to use it actually quite a bit
Load.
in this quest that we're going to get into tonight because of the the distance some of the enemies were at in those large areas. I'd have to. I could see them on my radar, but then I would have to. I'd hit my scanner to highlight them because You didn't know if they were up or down or straight in front of you. All right, let's see. Fix an issue that could cause Delta to be the wrong size. Now, I I wonder. I've never had Delta be. I mean, he's probably what 6'6". All the
He's
Terrans are.
6'6" or 7 foot tall.
They're all pretty
Big.
good size, but I've never had
I
him
think
be
it would
too
be
big or
kind of
small.
funny to have him show up being about 2'5", about kneecap size.
Have him be that size and his voice be high pitched. So when he drops his lines,
Squeaky like a little mouse.
yeah, when he drops his lines, those just deadpan lines about the percentage chances of things, and yeah. All right, let's see. Next is fixed an issue where
Right now, I've got
what's that?
he challenged me.
Challenge you. What do you mean?
Yes, it was Terran robots versus humans, and it's like a strength challenge and other challenges. I think it's part of his affinity quest to become
Okay.
buddies. I don't know. It didn't really say anything, but it just came up and said, "Go talk with Delta about the moon landing." And you get into this conversation, and he wants to tell you how impotent humans are because they thought it was this huge thing to jump from the Earth to the moon, and this Terrans, we're going all the way across the galaxy, and it's like, so he wants to challenge him versus you, basically, to show you how much superior he is. I will just leave it at that. It's kind of a funny thing. So
Yeah.
I stopped in the middle of what I was doing to go have this contest with him. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to derail us.
No, that's funny. I didn't realize that he had an affinity quest. But let's see.
Once you get through the whole Terran quest line, then he becomes a
regular crew member.
regular recruitable crew member, just like any of the Constellation folks. So therefore, yes, he has affinity. He does not. I don't think you can like marry him or anything. That'd be weird. But
You mean we can't get our Lando Calrissian on?
No, I don't believe so. I mean, should probably stop here before I segregate half of our audience. We've only got 20 people that like us. I don't need it down to 10.
Oh, let's see. So we got because that means there's 3 robots now, because Free Lanes introduced the little dude and got Delta G. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I decided what I'm going to do with my 3 characters. Each one's going to use a different robot. So my space trucker, my main character, uses Vasco, because it's awesome. I mean, what they should have done they should have done the same with Delta and the other robot, is that they post up out your landing ramp when you're exploring.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it'd be cool to have all 3 of them kind of standing guard around your ramp if you had them all 3 on your crew.
Yeah, that'd be cool if all 3. But even if what they should do is have it set up where you can pick one person to be the sentry.
Right.
But yeah, so each of my characters is using a different one. So my combat medic, because he's doing Terran Armada, he'll use Delta, and then my cyber runner will use the smaller little guy, because it makes sense that she's an assassin, so this style cyber runner thief character. So having a small droid that could potentially go with her and sneak around would make sense.
Yeah.
So, all right. So next up is fixed an issue where quantum essence could be used via favorites when none was available. So it sounds like if you had a quantum essence favorited, even though you didn't have any, you could be spamming that during combat. But I mean, now I'm going to be using quantum essence for my my chest, my quantum entanglement device.
Well, we've kind of said this a few times, where quantum essence was kind of useless before the patch, and now it's useful for everything. So it's super valuable. No, don't use it in combat. We need it for all kinds of other stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I would only ever use it once at the beginning of a firefight, just to have my power bar recharging quickly. But a lot of times the recharge boost from the quantum essence would run out before the firefight ended, but I wouldn't go back into my menu. By then I usually would focus on the little guys, smoke them all, and I'd be down to like 1 or 2 bosses left, and then so.
Yeah. I just use them for, at this point, just raising up all of my Starborn powers.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I've
I
got
haven't.
all of my popular ones to 10 and most of the others at 8 or 9.
I haven't done the. I have not done the powers yet with it. I'm just doing the quantum essence. Well, part of the reason I'm not doing powers is because I'm in my headcanon, I'm not going through the Unity anymore, although I've had to
Right.
do that to fix the game. But I in my role play of it, I didn't do it again. I'm kind of permanently mentally on my 7th universe.
Right. And that's on mine. Eldon Leroy is slowly transferring, kind of like the Star Wars Darth Vader character, slowly transforming into the hunter to, well, it's just another life. There'll be another one in the next galaxy. Don't worry about it.
Yep.
So he's kind of sliding over to the dark side. So yeah, he's increasing his powers to maximum to be able to, you know.
Yep. You can be the master villain of that universe. All right, next up, fixed a few points of interest so they don't appear on planets with no human presence. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, that'd be weird, showing up to like what should be a populated place, but there's nobody there. Oh no, that wouldn't be weird. I'd be like, oh, cool, free stuff. Unless you go in and then it says like the steal, because typically if it says you're stealing stuff or you have to crouch to take it, that should mean that there are people in the vicinity that live there. So I could see that being a little annoying.
I read that as like having points of interest on planets where there shouldn't be points of interest. It should be just a plain barren moon. Am I reading it wrong? Fixed a few points of
No, I read it wrong.
so
You're
that
right.
they
Fix it.
don't appear on planets. Yeah, points of interest so that they don't appear on planets with no human presence. So yeah, if you've got a barren planet, you don't want, a little cafe just popping up over there, a little Terra Brew on the corners, beside the boulder.
Yeah, you got a zero
Game immersion breaking.
zero atmospheric planet, and somebody's just sitting out in the open, or out in the open, sipping on their latte. All right. Addressed an issue where a space encounter had too many asteroids present. I've never had that. The only issue I've ever had sometimes is the super fast spinning asteroids.
Yeah. The asteroids in general, there's a sweet spot, but a lot of times it's too much.
Yeah.
And too often. I don't want every single planet I jump to have an asteroid around it, a bunch of asteroids around it every single time. So I think maybe they're just adjusting the frequency and the density.
I only get it like 1 out of 4, 1 out of 5 times. It's not too often. I'd say a third of the time, like I don't have any debris of any kind. I mean, there's always something that spawns, All right, UI, loading a save will remove incorrectly displayed incursion icons on the star map. Oh, yes. That could be an issue, because I know in the comments people have talked about having issues with incursions.
My star map, I didn't check it today, but before I went on vacation, if I would open my star map, I would show little triple triangles of the Terran incursions, and there'd be 8 or 10 scattered out across the galaxy because they weren't, once I go and take care of them, they weren't disappearing. Or if it moved from one location, it says Terran incursion has moved to such and such location.
Yeah.
It wouldn't disappear from the old spot. The icon would stay there. I could fly there, and I couldn't find anything there where the old one was.
Okay.
So the icon would stay on the map, but it wouldn't be in reality. It wouldn't actually be there.
It'd be the equivalent of closing an Oblivion gate, getting the sigil stone, you fall out, and the Oblivion gate's still just there.
Right, or at least on your map it is.
Yeah, well, they always stay on your map, actually, because it's a fast travel point, which was useful at times in Oblivion. All right. Addressed an unresponsive state that could appear or occur in the vehicle menu. I don't even know what that is referencing. Fixed a texture issue that could appear on
I know what that
characters.
means.
What,
Isn't
the
that where
vehicle
like you
one?
can't get out of your vehicle? Yeah.
Maybe.
I've had spots where I can't get out. And you got to drive around a little bit and find like a perfectly flat location with nothing around you to get out of the vehicle sometimes. Maybe.
All right. Next up, fixed a texture issue that could appear on characters when creating a character.
I haven't seen that one.
No, the only texture issue I've had was the Loretto Arms dealer and Newell and and Neon. They have that. They wear the same outfit. It's the orange top outfit. The large parts of their outfit were just invisible. Just so they're like, you can see their head floating around, their hands.
Yes, I've seen that. Yeah, heads and hands, and the outfit is actually gone.
But I've been back to her now. Well, I don't know. Maybe that was fixed in that patch last night, because I downloaded the patch yesterday afternoon right before I did the mission, and I went to her, and I was expecting her to be not have anything. All right. Next up, we got fixed text strings that would cause a font to display incorrectly. I'm assuming something in the menu, maybe. I don't know what that is. And updated.
Yeah, I've not seen any issues. I play with text on because my hearing is going because of all the working in shops and blah blah things that I've done in my life. I've got tinnitus and the ringing, so I always have text on. And I've not seen any issues. I don't know what that one's referring to. I'm assuming some people have, or they wouldn't have tried to fix it.
Yeah, and enough people complained about this issue. Or a dev saw it and it annoyed them enough to put it in the patch.
Yeah.
All right, and lastly, updated the game credits.
Probably nice. They forgot somebody's name.
The credits at the end of the game, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Either they forgot somebody or they decided it took way too long to sit there after the 10th time through the Unity, and you got to sit there and wait for the credits for 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's a bit annoying. Yeah, anytime I went to the Unity, I kind of reached a point where like, oh, well, I mean, there does come a point where you can push the buttons and it gives you the option to skip or something, but it takes a while to get to that point. So that's when And
out of respect, the very first time, I let the credits run because it's everybody that worked on the game deserves the credit that they worked on the game. So I sat there and respectfully watched the entire credits roll. And then, occasionally when I'm feeling the mood and I go through the Unity, I'll let it roll through and just kind of sit there and look at the names and the different titles of everybody that, what kind of title they're given for whatever.
Yeah.
But usually, you get about 3/4 of the way through and you can skip and then move forward. So I don't know. Maybe they've adjusted something there. I don't know.
We'll find out if I go through the Unity again.
Right?
But I'm aside from this very slight increase in game crashes, I'm doing really stable. I partly because I'm very careful with my mods. When I download one, I do a hard save. I download it. I only download one mod at a time, and I will play for a solid game, at least one solid game session or more, depending on what the mod was. And as long as I'm not having any issues, I'll go ahead and just run it. And so I've got a pretty stable game right now. I mean, the sad thing is I'm going to probably not do as many of the side quests that I usually like to do in this universe. Just because if completing more stuff just bloats the game more, I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to complete Shattered Space because that's, the universe I live in. Shattered Space is done. Crimson Fleet is taken out. And then the quest Failure to Communicate and Ground Pounder. Those are probably going to be the only two side quests I always consistently do. And because the reason I like Failure to Communicate, especially when you're in G+, is it will spawn in a system, not like it will spawn, I think, in some of the settled systems, but it has to be like a slightly higher level or something to that effect. It's not going to spawn where New Atlantis is, or Aquila, or Neon. Not like a major, well-populated system, but it'll spawn not too far from those systems. But anyways, if you're NG plus, you know the system you want to put your home in, fast travel straight to that one in your Starborn Guardianship to get it to spawn, that quest to spawn there. And that's just from the roleplay perspective. I like the idea of there's some fellows, I almost said communists, fellow colonists in the system with me, right? You got Lopez, you got Jackie, and you got Banta, I think is his last name. Yeah, so just the idea that there's some other people here. We're making this solar system a populated place, safe for travelers. Now, one thing that thought occurred to me, but I need to test it out, is what happens if I'm just fast traveling around in the system, and where I've already completed the failure to communicate quest, and if some spacers or pirates pop in, or will I come across a random battle between one of those guys and against some spacers, right? That'd be really cool if they actually kind of roam the solar system,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All for the role play of it. And finally, to the main event of this episode is the Terran Armada quest, Going Haywire. And the previous one was Into the Void, where you meet Void, which is a acronym of special people that want to do special things. With veterans of interstellar. I don't remember what the D stands for. Anyways,
dominance.
Yep.
I don't remember either.
So in this mission, you're supposed to go to a Terran Armada factory, and because in the previous one you got the 3 black boxes, so now you have to go. Delta use the black boxes to figure out where all these robots are being made, and that's where is it Roxanne? That's her name, right?
Roxanne, the person that made Delta's chip. Yeah. Yep. So he wants to go find his creator.
Yep.
That's kind of on his number one to-do list, and you're on the ride. You're on the bought the tickets. Time to take the ride.
Yeah. Now, I forgot to take some pictures and screenshots, or I should say, of me going through the quest. I was really focused on just getting through it last night. But this one's definitely more straightforward. That like the previous ones, you have to there's 3 incursions, so you can kind of go through them in any order. On this one, it's go to place, go through dungeon, find rescue person, done. It holds your hand. There's a lot of little things that you do throughout it, but it's much more linear in its presentation. So, I mean, I'd say, make sure you've got an hour or so set aside to get through this, because it is a bit of a longer one, but it's a lot of fun. Good environment. Oh, I can see how it would not be fun for some people. But it's at a mining asteroid where they are supposedly mining X-Tech there. That's what I gather.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so you go to the asteroid, and in my case, it was the way it was angled. It was on the dark side. The sun was on the back side, so it was very dark as when I docked to it. When I exited, the sun was on the other side of it. But I went into it, and you alternate through walking and 0G, and you'll know you're about to switch when you go through an airlock. And so if you're not a fan of the 0G, I do like it. It just to have a different feel for the gameplay. But the cool thing about 0G is make sure you bring plenty of proximity mines, because you can just throw those things out. They
goes out everywhere.
Huck them out. Now, some of these spaces where you're in 0G fights are pretty massive interior areas, so I'd be careful there, because if it does not detonate on that person, it's just going to be bouncing around, and it could end up blowing up in your face, literally. But yeah,
this is a great place to upgrade your gymnastics skill.
That's right. The 0G kills, right?
0G kills, and to go from 3 to 4, you got to have 75 kills.
Yeah.
So we've been this whole Terran Armada. has been an experience to completely max out your gymnastics. I got mine maxed out now, and 0G is so much easier when you have a good gymnastics skill.
Yeah.
So much more controllable. The guns don't push you around near as much as they do at the first of the game.
Yeah, the recoil is definitely better there. Which, and I ended up on my combat medic. He's a pistols guy, but I decided to make an exception with the Terran stuff and build because he's the only character to go into the Terran Armada quest line. And I think if you don't go into it, I don't think you even come across any of the Terran guns if you haven't even at least started the quest. And so,
because you don't get any of the guns in
no, I don't think so. I think it's all Terran Armada exclusive content.
I know it was like.
I mean, you'd have to buy them.
I thought ship parts was on the paid side, and the guns were on the free side. Guns and armor, the new guns and the new armor, armor and the Terran armor.
I went specifically to the gun vendor in Anchor Point, which you would think if they have one vendor in the game for free lanes, free stuff, that he would be the ones, or is it? It's the guy. It's the guy first, and then the guns, then equipment. And he didn't have any of them. Now, maybe he does. If you go back, he might have them once in a while. But the problem is if you start Terran Armada, as soon as you start it, you're kind of stuck. I don't know if you can start it just enough to get one of the guns and then bounce out, because I think by the time you get Delta, and then now you're stuck having Delta walk around with you, right? So, anyways, so the brain fart.
Yeah, I'm looking here, and all of the. Let's see, where was I? Yeah. Apollo spacesuit, Terran Armada only. Terran armored pack, Terran is the. Yeah. So if you're on Inara, you can look items up by what they are, whether they're guns, weapons, armor, right?
Yeah.
And it'll give you a little code beside it where it came from. If there's nothing beside it, it was in the base game. And then we've got Shattered Space and Terran Armada that had some things come out. And so there's a lot of stuff a lot of armors that came out.
Yeah.
Armada pack, Armada space helmet, Armada space suit, Assassin pack, Assassin space helmet, Assassin space suit. So yeah, you're right. None of that stuff shows up until you actually start the Terran Armada DLC. So was there additional parts that showed up?
What do you mean additional parts?
The Terran spaceships have some new parts with them, right?
Like the new engines or structure or stuff? I haven't paid attention really. When I've a couple of the space combat instances I've been in, I just took the ships out. I didn't even target them to see them closely, so I'll have to pay attention. But I'm assuming they have the cockpit. I mean, at the very least, I'm assuming I don't want to spoil the last quest because I know a couple things about it, even though I haven't played it yet. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so on my combat medic, circle back. Excuse me. I'm using the rifle because you get so much of that ammo. And typically I get more ammo off of killing one of the robots than I used to kill him, right? So I'm slowly increasing my ammo supply by killing him until you come across a boss one. Then man, you deplete your ammo on those guys pretty fast. But it's just for the convenience of killing Terrans with it. And I actually named my gun Terran Killer. And I've got the disassembler. I've got disassembler, hitman, and then shattering. So it's bonus damage against robots, bonus damage while aiming down the sights, and then the shatterings for getting through the like helping to get through armor.
Right.
And it really, and it's obviously fully automatic. I've got a red dot because you're rarely ever in long range combat with these Terran robots. And I've got armor piercing rounds, long barrel. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun playing with that gun. Because I don't have a full automatic rifle character. In fact, I realized my space trucker is semi-auto. My assassin is melee with laser pistols, but even then, not automatic. So he's going to be my combat medic now is pistols and ballistic pistols and full auto ballistic rifle. So, but specifically against Terrans.
My companion's a full auto gun and one bullet. Here you go.
Yeah, one bullet. And I always like to make them laser weapon so you can see.
That's what I get.
It's like a tracer. It's like a tracer round, so you're able to track their shots.
The laser rifle from the new DLC. I modified it all the way up as far as I could, and then I renamed it, and it's Jax's Wazer Rifle. As a throwback, don't we have a Wazer rifle in Fallout 3? Was it Fallout 3 or Fallout 4?
I thought that was 3.
A special, unique named weapon in one of the Fallout games that was called the Wazer rifle, which is also a throwback to Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd.
Oh yeah,
with his rifle.
That goes way back for us.
Yeah. So I thought I would just pile on there.
All right, so okay, we get to the factory and we got to navigate through it, and you're supposed to locate Roxanne. Yeah, so the first 3 objectives of this quest takes a while to get to Roxanne because she's buried deep in there. But then there's a fair amount of stuff you have to do once you get to her. So, anyways, you because you're navigating through these 0G environments, then walk-in environments, and there's a. I always like it when you're in a space station and there's windows where you look out and see your ship. In this case, it was like these windows were like caged, and my Terran Armada battleship, the Docker's on top, so it was like this. So I'm like looking out and seeing it. And lots of good loot here. And of course, if you're running with the Dark Star mod, the Dark Star Total Gameplay Overhaul, you have the option to strip all the armor off. And so when you walk up to a body on a game controller, it gives you the option to tap Y, and it strips all of their. Hold on.
Yeah, all of their stuff shows up in their inventory. Now you can see their helmet and their backpack and their spacesuit and their clothing.
Yep.
Along with the stuff that you would have normally seen, their gun and their money and their digipicks, but now all this other equipment shows up, and it strips them naked on the floor, so they're sitting there in their underwear, which is a good visual as you walk by to know I've already searched that body. Keep moving.
Yep. Exactly.
That's what I love it for. It's nothing else other than just a visual especially you get some of these larger locations, and if you're looking down a corridor and you see a stripped body down that one, but a full clothed body down that one, I haven't gone over there and looked and searched that area. And us loot goblins make sure we want to search every corner.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, and while we're talking about the Dark Star, they have submitted the integration patch for the new for all the new stuff in Terran Armada, maybe, or is it Free Lanes? I'm not sure if it's one, the other, or both.
Okay.
But they do have the integration patch submitted to Bethesda. They're in the queue. They're waiting for Bethesda to review it, approve it, and then it'll be out for us to download it, and all of the new guns and armors and everything will be able to be Dark Starified.
Nice.
Yay.
Yeah, because that's the cool thing about Dark Star is you can take a weapon with effects on it, strip the effects off, and then put them on other weapons, right? But
or strip them off with a gun that if you building up a particular gun, one of the new laser guns or whatever, and you don't like what's on it, you can strip everything off and then go get that gun and take it over to a bench and put on what you want.
Yeah. But the downside with all the new weapons is it has not been when you go into the machine to put in, it's a special machine where you put all of the stuff into it to strip off the effects. The Terran Armada guns, all those ballistic rifles, and as well as the Terran's armor and stuff, it doesn't show up in there, and so you just never get to use it. So at this point, I've just been selling it all for the high value of having it. But yeah, so good to know.
I've kept an example of everything that I find, and then everything else gets sold off. So I have one when the patch comes out, and I can play with it. But also, when the patch comes out, you should be able to go to the crafting bench, the Darkstar crafting bench, and craft whatever weapon or armor in the new DLC that has come out, because all that stuff will be added to the craft abilities, the crafting benches.
Gotcha. Yeah, that'll be awesome to be able to do that. Yeah, because I got, it was frustrating. I had the effects I wanted for my rifle. I had all the codexes, right? I had all the codexes, but I couldn't. It's not updatable, so I just used command console to give myself the credits to work my way through the upgrade, because you can at least upgrade with the new style of making it a legendary weapon. You can at least do that. You can pay money in X-Tech. So I literally had to give myself money to just work my way through those and upgrade them, and to build the gun I have, my Terran Killer assault rifle.
For all of the roles, you've got your base 3 legendary rolls, and 5 apiece for each of those 3. And then once you get the third one unlocked, I think you can upgrade the weapon to a better quality level. Then you get a 4th legendary, and you can get 5 rolls there. Every one of those rolls is progressively more expensive. So by the time you completely deck out this gun from top to bottom, beginning to end, it's like 750,000 credits.
Yeah, costs more than a ship.
Or 700,000 credits. So
yeah,
it's pricey.
Yeah.
You could build an entire spaceship, a nice spaceship for that.
Yeah, just get Darkstar TGO. Yeah, and then the 4th effect though is I think the unique ones. It's like all the new ones they've added.
Yeah,
where it's like I'm looking forward to the one where it's a single shot gun, but it's extremely powerful. Like as a sniper rifle, so to speak.
Right.
That's I'm looking forward to doing that. So all right, so we're going to be navigating our way through the mining facility here, going through 0G environments and walking environments, killing robots. I like how the Terran will come out of their little boxes, their little pods, and because you hear it go, meh, meh, it's like beeps, and right before it opens, and then there's a little flashing light. Right. I noticed there's a little flashing light, so that's your little indicator. So as soon as I hear it, I'm like, oh, where's it? Run around, and I just, as soon as the thing opens, I just start hosing it. And they usually are dead before they hit the ground.
Right. Yeah. Well, they get one full step out, and they're falling to their death.
And then, so you fight your way all the way to Roxanne, and then when you find her, she's a little hostile towards you because she doesn't know really who you are. And
and you're running around with a Terran.
But let me back up slightly, though. There's instances of gunfire that you would come across. There's already firefights happening, and I was confused at first. And until I got to her, and I imagine a smarter player than me would probably have figured it out. But basically, it was the Terran robots fighting the Terran humans. So when you finally get to her, you discover that she had programmed the robots to start fighting. So the robots were going around killing. That's where all those firefights were coming from. So you're just kind of stumbling across these firefights, and it's useful because that helps you pinpoint guys when they're firing at each other. You can trace their rounds. Oh, he's shooting over here. He's shooting from over there. Now, in there's that first huge 0G environment you come across.
The one with the rotating arm.
It's got that laser.
It's a section in the front, and then it's got a tumbler, and then a big section in the back.
I don't remember that. I remember the one with the huge blue laser right in the middle. Is that the same one?
No, I'm thinking
Yeah,
something different.
it was a huge blue laser, and but the place was so huge, I would have to open up my scanner because I would see a little red blip on my radar, and I would open up my scanner to actually see the blue highlighted silhouette of somebody. And sometimes they were like hiding because they were in a combat state, having been fighting each other. They would be hiding from me or hiding, so I would have to I had to search them out a little bit more than I usually would.
Right.
So, but eventually you do catch up to her, and you introduce Delta to her creation, so they get to become acquainted. And then
And it does seem like the AI for these guys is a notch higher by the way that they use cover and concealment, and the way they bound and move from cover to cover and room to room and fall back and advance. They seem a little bit. The AI seems a little smarter than the vanilla spacers and ecliptic.
Well, I also I wonder if are they smarter, or are they just doing the same things that humans would do? For example, you would think a robot would not be programmed to run away from the fight and take cover. He's a robot. He's just going to charge at you. But these ones will run and take cover, and so that thought occurred to me. But they could be have some smarter AI, programmed into them from a gameplay perspective.
Yeah, I don't know if there's like levels. I would guess once we get into the CK a bit, there are probably settings where you can make them more aggressive or less aggressive enemies, and kind of set their AI level of how intelligent they seem. All of it is obviously programmed.
Yeah.
To some degree, right? So is that programming going to allow them level A programming to where they just run forward and shoot? Level B programming is they take cover. Level C programming, they take cover and they retreat and advance. You know what I mean? So on the back end, the programming may have not necessarily intelligence, but levels of AI interactability, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Everybody's using the new AI word, AI for everything. So it's become, I guess, shorthand for just
smarter stuff.
Yeah, it's programmed intelligence, I guess.
Okay, so Roxanne is turning the tide on this place because she programmed the robots to fight against. Well, she programmed them specifically. She programmed them to go after any humans. I think there might have been a line saying that she wasn't able to do like a friend or foe setup where it would target her or other people. Well, obviously, because they would attack you. So that becomes a bit of a plot point towards the end of this, which we'll get to. So at this point, the quest is as I was saying earlier, it's a very linear quest. You're just going right through it. And the quest marker, when you pull up your scanner and you have your little arrows, it pretty is accurate. Even in the huge zero-G environments, it shows like these huge string of floating arrows to take you where you're supposed to go. Right. So if I remember correctly, after you free her, you've got to go down to a console, because there was this factory part of the facility where there were these huge claws moving these boxes around. And one of them is blocking a pathway, so she has to do a little magic on a console, which then allows. Because I went up and hit the button. Actually, that's right. I went up and hit the button, and nothing happened. And then she came up and did a little bit of work on the console, and then that allowed the conveyor belt or the arms to move, and you follow. You're in a zero-G area. You float up after the box. You go through it, and
so it gives you a quest marker that says find your way through the factory.
Yeah.
And as you're floating and following the arrow and you're trying to figure out and you're checking all the little corners and all, you get to a spot that looks like you should be able to interact with a computer, but you can't. And then it says wait for Roxanne. So then Roxanne shows up and kind of bumps you out of the way and says, here, I got this. And she goes tickety, right?
Yep.
Clickety clack. And so she gets the door open for you, right?
Yep, so to speak. And then eventually you navigate your way into an area where I saw a door down below, and I saw where it wanted me to go. So I went, and which was not that door. So I went and investigated that door first, and it was sealed shut. So I'm like, okay, well, eventually we're going to come here. So I followed the quest marker, and I went into a room, and this is where you have the quest marker to bring Roxanne X Tech. Now, what's weird is I already had X Tech on me. So I would say at the very least, make sure to bring X Tech with you, maybe in case the X Tech yours doesn't spawn, because I think there was 3 X Tech in this room.
Yes,
Right?
I believe you're right.
There were 3 sitting there, but on some fluke off chance they don't spawn, maybe having it in your inventory already would help. But you give her some X Tech, and then she goes to Delta and upgrades him with an EMP blast, right, where he can send out EMP to disable. Which I never actually saw him use it, but
I've seen him use it a lot.
oh wait, I think he totally did, and I didn't realize
The
it.
robots just kind of get a little electrical shock around them, like there's this energy wave that goes boom. Sorry, through the room, and then
Okay,
the robots just get all, brr, and then
does
they
it
just
kill
fall.
him? Does it kill him?
Nope, it just
Oh,
stuns
just
them,
say
and they
okay.
all fall over like the scared goats. What are those fainting goats?
Yeah.
That's what they look like. They just get all stiff and fall over, and then you can
Okay.
just walk up and murk them.
Yeah. So I definitely have not seen that actually happen yet. He may have used him and killed him before. I could even get there maybe. But after you get that
Yeah,
upgrade,
you keep your eye out. Once you see it actually happen once, and you identify that he's doing it and what is happening, you'll start seeing it a lot more. Because I notice it all the time now when I'm dealing with other robots. If I go into even just like in a random incursion, now that I've completed everything and I can go do the hi silly, I can do the random incursions, and yeah, he'll use them there too if he's following you as your companion. So it's a cool feature that especially if you get like 4 or 5 of them and they're all like trying to schwack you, then he takes a couple out with this blast, and so that gives you a little breathing room to run over and kill a couple of guys real quick.
yeah, exactly. So I'll have to pay attention to that while I'm in combat, and hopefully he'll use use that power. So after Delta gets his EMP upgrade, you're going to make your way into the control room for the facility, where I can't remember exactly what Roxanne needed to do there. But once she's in the control room, is it destroying the facility? Because she needs to prevent she needs to prevent the Terrans from making more robots. Is what it is. That's
Right.
And so you have to defend her, which means you have to go. She's up in the control room on an elevated area where there's some windows, I think, that do look down, and you go back down into the ground level there, and there's a whole bunch of the Terran pods. And when you first get there, there's a few of them that do pop out, and you kill them. But for this part, while she's doing her thing, it's your classic. Oh, you're gonna have to deal with waves of bad guys while this NPC does something to help.
Right.
So
So she's playing on a computer, and she says, "Just give me a few minutes, and keep the heat off of me." So where all of those robot pods are hanging down, they start popping open.
Yep.
And you've got to run out into that big room, and they start coming. So it's a good fight. That's a fun fight.
Yeah. And most of them were on the second floor, or they're like on the second tier, because there's and so which is useful, because having to come and then fall down and land, and when they land, they kind of don't quite do a superhero pose, but they do kind of. It seems to make it takes them longer to engage in the fight. So by the time they start shooting, they're usually dead. So
you're able to
Convenient,
as
but
you
a little
get
bit of a
vantage point.
disappointment.
Well,
But
if you get a good vantage point, you can watch them pop out, and then it gives you a second to target them and get them down.
yeah,
I think the first time that I went through this, I didn't realize that, and I'm running around the maze, and I would come around the corner, and there would be a guy right there. Oh, damn, okay. Take him out, and then you'd hear the noise, and you'd try to run through the maze to find that one, and he would already be ready.
yeah,
But if you stay kind of at a good vantage point, you find you a good spot where you can kind of watch down the corridors,
yeah,
then you can just take them out as they come out.
yep, yeah, because there's like 3 or 4 rows, so corridors, so you can use that to your advantage. And would be nice would be if you could tell Delta, you watch this corridor, and then have your
Right.
follower, which my primary follower is Hadrian from the Vanguard quest line. I can tell her, you watch this corridor, I'm going to watch this one. That'd be really
Right.
cool if you could have that level of
Overwatch.
tactic. But yeah, now, so this is where I thought maybe he used his EMP, but I think actually she disabled all the robots. Is that what she does? Because I remember seeing a cluster of them, and I'd already killed one boss Terran that had, those, some of the bosses now have the traits. They have up to 3 traits. So I took one out, and I saw there was another one that I think had more, because I think it was only a 1 trait boss that I took out, and he had extra health bars. But I'm pretty sure I had seen another one, and so I ran around. Oh, he had to have been, because he had a weapon that had an effect on it, so he had some kind of a boss. So I ran up to go take out that cluster of them. There was like 3 or 4 of them with him and 2 or 3 others around him. So I took out the one boss, and I was running back to take care of them, and something happened. There was noises, and I think somebody said something, and there were just a pile on the ground. I didn't even shoot them, not once. Yeah, so I think there was that's what I was thinking. It was like a kill switch, I guess, that did that.
Yeah, I think because it says here, it says Roxanne has successfully shut down the facility. So that probably means that everything is. Don't you start getting the alarms that there's like the place is going to explode?
I remember interpreting things that way, but there was no urgency to get out of the place. It just says, the quest log just says escape the factory, and it didn't explode when we left it. And I'm trying to remember if there was even any more firefights after that. I don't think there was. But you basically, yeah, you go to the one door that I remember coming across that was still sealed shut. You couldn't interact with it.
Yeah.
So obviously that's where you're going to go. You go through there, and it puts you out. That's just it's like the classic Bethesda shortcut to put you so you don't have to completely retrace your steps.
Right.
But you still have to retrace your steps to a certain extent, because it puts you in a place where you've already been. Because like you're saying, Dark Star total gameplay overhaul advantage is when you search bodies, when you strip off their clothes, it's a visual cue that, oh, I've been there, because that character's laying there in their underwear. So
Right.
I go through that door and eventually popped out in a place where there was the person in their underwear. So then I just
There's dead Terran humans.
before you
And
get back to some of the places you've already been, the final thing is, so you go through that sealed door, you come across a dead guy in a blue and white lab coat, in my case, and he's already dead there, and Roxanne comes in and is kind of freaking out a little bit. I'm like, why? I'm
right,
just
it
thinking,
dawns on her what actually she has done.
and but what happens is Delta analyzes the body. I don't know how he's able to tell this from a dead body, but whatever. He analyzes that this body had like no defensive wounds, so to speak, and the emotional state of this person right before dying was fear or something like that. Basically, and that this person was a janitor. So this person was killed by a Terran, was just a janitor. So it's that classic Star Wars debate. It's like, great, Luke, you're a hero for blowing up the Death Star, but how many millions of people, or probably hundreds of thousands of people worked on that thing? How many of them were just janitors? They're stuck in this.
Somebody was a cook. Somebody was washing the laundry. Somebody was changing the bedding, and they didn't have nothing to do with this fight.
Way to go, Luke.
Yeah, great hero. Huh?
So I mean, that's the classic argument, though. It's like, and so basically, I was telling her it's a casualty. Like, it sucks, but this is what it is, and that's the same
They all
approach.
make the machine work.
yeah, Delta had that mentality too. And it's like, obviously, if I'm in a situation in these games where I come across a person who was, working for them, and I'm like, yeah, but I'm, this was his job, and maybe it just got in over his head before he realized how far he was in over his head, kind of a thing. If the game gives me a chance to let him go, I let him go.
Yeah, because there's always that, were they conscripted?
Yeah.
Were they forced to come and do laundry on this, this base?
Yep.
Or did they, have no other means to support their family, and so they decided to join forces with, join the Terran, just, well, I'm not going to be in the front lines, but I'm going to help with this so that I can get, funds back to the family so they can eat.
Yeah.
And that's where you always have that gray moral, in your soul. You're like,
Yeah.
am I killing these people and they're just innocents, or are they actually part of the larger war machine that I need to go ahead and,
Yeah.
blowing up a bomb factory? Well, there's innocent people in there making those bombs, but how innocent are they? So it's, it's difficult. War, it's hell.
War never changes.
War never changes.
Just like on the Mantis quest line, there's that one guy you come across. He's like, "Hey man, please don't kill me." And so you're like, "All right, I'll be nice. Let him go." And then he runs off, and he's like, "Oh, so long, sucker."
Right. Screwing you in the end.
Yeah, but then he gets his. I can't remember if I killed him or if something else killed him. Well, then there's also in Skyrim, the same thing happens in Bleak Falls Barrow. There's that dark elf that's in the web. You set him free, and he takes off running. And so,
right,
you at that point you can kill him, or he eventually gets killed by a spider.
Right.
So
he runs off and then gets stuck in a web later.
Yeah. So, yeah, at this point you're already you've disabled the Terrans. You've had this interaction with Roxanne over the dead body, and she's pretty distraught over it. But I mean, so it's good to have somebody with a conscience around, so to speak. She looks a lot like Rosie Tannehill. I just realized, the NPC, Rosie Tannehill. Rosie is the only vanilla NPC in the game that has the medicine skill. So for the functional infirmaries mod, you need an NPC with a medicine skill on your ship to then lay down in the infirmary bed to cure your afflictions and injuries. So you have to have Rosie unless there's another mod NPC out there that has the medicine skill, which I know you're going to tell me about the new crew. That's the doctor, so you don't even need the infirmary. The doctor is the infirmary. But yeah, Rosie or Roxanne. So you guys get off the ship. Then you go back to Anchor Point and go into the down into the little secret hideout below the bar. And then there's just kind of a after action report kind of discussion between the members of Void and Roxanne and Delta as you're deciding what to do next. And Roxanne is basically held against her will at this point. They're like, "You're not leaving here. We cannot risk Terran Armada getting you again."
Yeah, out of one prison into another.
So
she is not happy about it either. She lets you know.
Yep. And so I kind of took the deal with it approach, but also we're going to resolve this situation as fast as we can, kind of a thing. So
let me go get this wrapped up, and then we'll come back and we'll figure out what we're going to do with you. Kind of a thing. It's like we're not the bad guys, but we're also, this is a military situation. We can't have you running around risking the military operation. So you're just going to have to hang tight here for a little bit.
Yep. You're just a guest here that can't leave.
That's it. Yeah. Also known as prison.
Yep. But
yeah, so the Void.
So now at this point though, they tee up the next quest, which I can't remember. The next quest is the Unifier, I think.
Nullifier, Unifier, yes.
Yeah, Unifier. So you basically, it's the next quest is the final fight against the Terran Armada. So this whole quest line is pretty short. They could have broken some of these quests up into like a couple of shorter pieces, I think. But one thing that really caught my interest at the end of this one, which we'll have to look into for the next one, is there's a couple of side quests that spin off of this, or 3 specifically, and you are specifically given a United Colonies, a Freestar, and a Ryusian X-Tech core
Yes.
to be able, and it's a side quest, and you can go start an outpost where you are harvesting X-Tech for those 3 entities. So,
So don't do this at your home base. Go find just a random location.
well, for those 3, for me,
Outpost.
it was a specific place I had to go to for.
Maybe it was.
I think it's a random location, but it is a specific location, and so I did
a quest marker.
Yeah, so I went to the United Colony one, and something happened, and I reloaded. So the first time I went there, it literally said something about, I think, UC Outpost or something like that. The next time I went back, it was like a science lab or something. But you land there.
It gave me a notification that says when you start doing this, this base will become UC property. So make sure you pick up any of your stuff that you want from here. Don't leave stuff laying around in this base. Don't put your armor there. Don't leave your, guns or money or X-Tech or anything leaving there, because once you set this up as a UC base, they got dibs on everything in it. So make sure you don't leave any of your crap there, because they will take it from you.
And that thought
I did one. Did you do all 3? Did you do like Ryusian and UC and Freestar, or I just did the one UC, and I still have the other specific boxes for Ryusian box, and I still have the Freestar box in my inventory.
I did not do the other 2. I probably will, just to get that stuff out of my inventory. But I mean, my combat medic is a United Colonies citizen, and he does not like the Freestar. So, I'll do it, I guess, diplomatically. Okay, just do it. But from a purely gameplay standpoint, I don't want crap in my inventory if I don't have to. But I went and did the first one. You're supposed to put up the X-Tech core extractor or X-Tech extractor, which requires that core plus some resources. You need to power it, and you need to put up 4 turrets. So I needed 3 wind turbines to do the 4 turrets and the core, or the X-Tech extractor. So, and that was when I stopped playing it. Or as soon as I built it all, I saved the game and logged out. So I'm gonna have to go. But can you go back and retrieve X-Tech out of it for yourself, or is it property?
No, all UC property now. But
can you go back and, on a morally ambiguous character, lighten their load of things? Possibly?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Strategically acquire, right?
Yeah. I mean, my my combat medic and space trucker, they're not thieves, but my cyber runner, she would go back. But now, so I'm hoping this means you can find a place with X-Tech on your own and harvest it.
What I did, and as soon as I got the UC one built and they took over that place, I went to my main base, which I named it, what is it? Dark Star Research Outpost.
Okay.
So that way I know that's my Dark Star base. That's where I got all my stuff. I got all my little minis there, my figurines and all that. Everything is there. So I went there, and I picked a really cool location. It's like a frozen planet, mostly frozen, but the place that I located had these like half frozen rivers. So there's all these rivers running through my base that have ice chunks and little fjords and stuff. So my base, the ground in that spot is really broken up with like water channels running through the base and everything.
Oh, nice.
I got attacked there by Terrans, and they found their way into the water underneath my landing pad.
Wow.
And so to chase them down, I had to jump off the landing pad, down onto the ground, down into the water, and go follow the channel of water underneath the landing pad and take out the Terrans that were sneaking around. I'm just assuming they were trying to plant bombs there.
Of course.
A little headcanon. And so I had to run over there and keep them from sabotaging my base. But then I immediately put down 3 of the X-Tech extractors.
Okay.
And then on Darkstar, the Darkstar landing pad provides something like 100 power or 500 power for your base. So you don't have to worry about setting up anything like that. So you set the extractors up, they're automatically powered.
Okay.
And then I ran them to the storage thing, all 3 of them going to the storage box that's there on my landing pad, and they went away. This morning I came back and was looking at it. I've got 167 X-Tech sitting there.
Oh, so you left your game running overnight?
When I did this, it was a lunch hour. So I did that real quick and then I went back to work and I didn't shut the game down. So after 10 or 15 minutes, the game automatically shuts down. And then I came back and I played some more. And then I went on vacation and came back and played a little bit one evening, not thinking to go back and check that. And then this morning I made it back to my base and I was like, oh yeah, I need to go check that. I got 167 X-Tech just hanging out in storage. So that's pretty cool.
So so X-Tech is part of free lanes. But if you want to harvest it, you have to have Terran Armada. If not, it's just going to be a random loot drop that you come across periodically.
Right. If you want to be able to mine it, you've got to go through the Terran Armada DLC and get to the point where you turn over the base to the UC, and then you can start mining your own. And they tell you, if you do this for us, we'll give you the schematics to make your own extractor.
Gotcha.
It's kind of that's the gameplay loop for it. It says, hey, go do this for us, and we'll give you the schematics.
Okay. Yeah, so that'll be nice to be able to have a steady supply of X-Tech then. And yeah, that'll be. I'll spend a lot of time at my X-Tech outpost, and I'll probably put a lot of turrets and have it, very well defended, and then just when I'm brushing my teeth or whatever, just leave my game running. So take a shower,
cooking dinner, whatever.
Yeah. Just let the game harvest my X-Tech, because I've got a feeling I'm going to be using a lot of X-Tech. Because when you're upgrading your weapons, you're using credits and X-Tech every time.
You get like 1 per in-game hour. And I don't think that you can just go over and go to sleep for 24 hours and then have 24.
Oh, it pauses the machine.
It may be real-time hours. I can't remember exactly, but there's, they make it where you can't, just kind of, just willy-nilly have a whole ton of them. So I put 3. I'm going to automatically put 3 X-Tech extractors on my base and ran them all to 1 storage.
Gotcha.
So that I'm, kind of tripling up on the harvest.
Yeah.
So that's fun. Yeah.
Now
what do we got next?
Slight rewind. There's 2 loot chests in the facility for this Going Haywire quest. There's one with Roxanne. It's slightly behind her, I think, if I remember right. Like you walk, because you come across her at the end of like an elevated platform that looks down over an area.
That's right.
Just past her to the left, if I remember right, is where
there's
the
like
first
a little
one
alcove.
is. And then you'll come across another one. I don't distinctly remember where it's at, but it's after all the firefighting is done. It might be near where that one dead guy is. I think it might be near him, but I remember it being fairly easy to spot. And they're just kind of the rectangular ones with the gray line. None of the octagon ones that I saw, or soccer ball ones.
Right.
So make sure to get both those loot chests. In my case, in both of them, let's see. Well, on the first one, there was just a blue weapon. It had 1 effect. And then the third one was a gold weapon, so it had 3 effects on it. And obviously some X-Tech and other resources like usual in those. Yeah, so our next quest is Unifier, right? I think that's the name of it.
Yeah.
So I have a whole bunch of incursions, minor incursions, which I've not done any of those yet. I'm assuming that's just kind of like a little action side quest you can do real quick. Go here, take out some Terrans. It's like a easy way to go find and kill some Terrans if you want to. But
Yeah,
when
it's kind of a way to be able to farm X-Tech and be able to
Mhm.
farm the action figures.
Okay. Oh yeah, because they
So,
tend to have them on them.
yeah.
And then when I started the Unifier quest line, not to, well, I mean, you start it because when you end the one, it automatically starts the next one. And
Mhm.
in starting it, it popped up with 3 more major quest lines, which are major incursions. I mean, where you have to
Right.
go again to get black boxes. So I'm like, really? We've already done that once, 3 times technically. So now we have to do it 6 times. Get these black boxes. It's almost like they just got a little lazy in the writing. It's like, all right, well, we have to gather some information. Okay, well, we'll just do 3 more major incursions. You got to go get the black boxes again.
Right. And it's, maybe getting you comfortable with the Super Cruise. Was it called Super Cruise?
Yeah, yeah, Super
Yeah,
Cruise.
cruising
Yeah,
through the solar system, different solar
yeah,
systems. So when you jump in at one location, and then you have to super cruise to
yeah.
the location you need to
But
be at, or else you can't get there.
I mean, they could have still had like a unique, one of a kind facility. That's a big dungeon you have to go through to get some data slate somewhere or a black box, sure. But instead of having it be incursions, have it be something where it's a some other facility. I don't know. That's just my
So,
2 cents.
like the reoccurring side quests
The
have
minor
at
ones.
least, at least 3 different um, POIs you can run into. One of them is like an abandoned uh, relay base that's just relaying the Terran Armada information. So you got to go shut down the relay and you just
Okay.
dock on it. It's all 0G. It's very vertical in design. Instead of having corridors you walk through, this
Yeah.
place is 0G and it's very vertical and you have to float up, float up, float up, and you do the
Okay.
things that it tells you to do. You find
Yeah.
a computer, it tells you to go do some things, you do that. And that's got a lot of loot kind of hidden in corners that really easy to miss if you're not looking for them. So
Okay.
keep an eye out for loot when you go do those.
Okay.
Um, Sometimes I think they're accompanied by some Terran ships, which I always kill the first one or two and then board the next one and kill everybody on board and take their
Yeah.
ship and sell it on the black market.
Yep.
Make some money.
Your little
That's what I call
glitch there.
glitching the sale. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm selling it on the black market.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I mean, 'cause you see that would be a great perk to the Crimson Fleet quest line if you decide
Mhm.
to join up with the Crimson Fleet in the end. That in the process, there may be one of the other characters that you come across, like I don't know who it would be, maybe the the Asian chick that helps you infiltrate the one base. Maybe she turns into a black market ship dealer. So now it's just the one and only way in the vanilla game to sell a ship without having to register it.
Well, yeah, they could just easily do that with their ship technician at the Crimson Fleet
Oh yeah,
base.
true. Yeah, just do that. Like
Just
that's
show up and sell
yeah,
ship, and they're like, you got to pay the Crimson Fleet tax, which is not 70%, but 25% of the
yeah,
value.
or even half. I mean,
I would, if there was a
yeah,
way, right, if the game had a way to sell them without registering or sell them at a better profit margin, because the profit margin sucks. I mean,
yeah,
you get a 50,000 credit ship, you register it for 45,000, so you get
yeah,
5 grand.
yeah. I
How
think
many
it's
ships do I have to steal in order for me to build a $170,000 credit
yeah,
ship? I mean, that's a lot of grind, and
yeah,
I'm not out of high school. I got a career that I've got to worry about, so time is of the essence. Let's move this along. We're going to
yeah,
sell that ship on the black market and make some money, and yeah,
yeah. That's 10%, which is ridiculous. I think they realized how quickly players could get rich if they just were doing ship stuff. And so
hmm
they wanted to throttle it and slow it down and allow you to enjoy the
yeah.
game which makes sense. But like,
I'm sure that's always the inside debate is how do we balance our economy to where the player still feels like they're advancing, but the economy doesn't get wrecked by level 10.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, what they could have done was attach it or have it be its own perk in the social tree, right? Used ship salesman, where
Right?
you know
Yeah.
the first perk you get, you only have to pay 80% instead of 90% to register, and then to 80, then 70, then 60, then 50. So by the time you and you would have and maybe make it to where you have to sell like 5 ships for the first one, and then you've got to do like 25 and then 50, then 100. So by the time you've done it, you're deep into the game, where at that point money usually is not an issue because you're getting also a lot of high dollar loot. But yeah, I want my 5 million credit asteroid mansion.
Right. And even with the way that I play, which is very edge of cheaty.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Cheaty adjacent. I still only have like 1.7 mil.
Yeah.
And all I've done is built my avant-garde ship, built a base up a little bit, and improved a few weapons, and it's keeping me pretty throttled down on my credits. So at this point, I either can throw out the Ramtech and just get some money, which that's the part where I say I'm cheating adjacent. Is sure I have that mod, but I've learned over the years that if I go and throw God mode on, then the game becomes very boring and monotonous, and there's no goals anymore. So I have in the game the goal of actually earning 5 million and then go back and make the sale for the asteroid home. So that's what's keeping me interested and engaged in it.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, I could go get it in 10 minutes, or I could enjoy playing the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the only time for the most, 2 times I've used the command console to give myself credits. One is, or not credits necessarily, but just if it's a super simple, cheap item, like I'm 3 iron short of finishing this thing, I'm not going to go from my outpost to Midtown Minerals and back. I'm not going to spend 5+ minutes of game time flying, running, buying for something that costs pennies, compared to how much money I have. But as far as credits, the only time I've given myself credits was on my combat medic. I was like, I wanted to upgrade his rifle, but it's not eligible for the Dark Star stuff yet. And so I gave myself enough credits, every step of the way, to get to the point where, because I already had the codexes, I had everything I needed. I just couldn't put it on because it's Dark Star. They haven't patched it yet. And so once I had that, I was sitting at just under 300,000 credits. I'm still sitting at just under 300,000 credits. I had plenty of X-Tech, so I didn't need to cheat code that. I just had to get the money because it costs a ton of money to do that. So I was doing it in alignment with how Dark Star would work, because it does take the fun out of it when you just God mode a game and you're just getting all the stuff for free. Then there's no thrill, no enjoyment to it.
Yeah,
so
you've got no goals. All the goals are just handed to you. There you go. You win.
Yep.
Okay, well, what am I even playing this? Time to find another game.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I am really keeping a close eye on Crimson Desert, and they are doing some amazing stuff with that game. As soon as it goes on sale, I'm buying that.
Yeah.
Black Friday sale or end of summer, whatever it goes on sale, I'm buying that game. And
Cyber Monday.
There you go. Can't wait.
Yeah.
There's another one that is on what is it? Alpha on Steam. It's like a alpha build for a game called Fate Keeper.
Fate Keeper.
Yeah, it's along the lines of Skyrim kind of a game,
Okay.
open worldy, armor and swords and magic, and it looks pretty fun also. And it's $7.99 for like the first 3 hours of the game, and it's on. Like I said, it's like an alpha build of the game, so the game is not officially out. It's like I don't know what do they call it, like beta testing, alpha testing, beta testing. $7.99. You get the
Yeah.
first portion of the game, and if I read it right, as they add portions, you can pay another, I don't know, a couple of bucks or whatever every time they add another section until they get to the final release. And at that point, maybe you've paid more than what the game is going to charge. Maybe you haven't. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'll wait till the or the release comes out, and I'll probably get that game too because that looks like a lot of fun. I've seen the commercial a few times and keep forgetting the name of it, and I'm like, oh, was that Crimson Desert? No, that wasn't Crimson Desert. And I keep trying to remember what game it was, and then I saw that it's out on beta to play on beta
Okay.
on Steam, and I'm like, that's the game. That's the one I want to play that game a little bit. That looks like a lot of fun too. So, a couple of games to watch out for, I guess. Summer Showcase just happened, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff out there that everybody may be interested. I've got a very narrow view of games I'm interested in, and mostly it's pretty much open world, single player type of games. So think of Skyrim, Fallout,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Starfield, Cyberpunk, The Witcher. So that's my jam, and those don't come around very often. Good ones don't come around very often. So I'm excited on a couple when they come around to me, and I get an opportunity to play them.
Yeah, I've got Witcher 3, but I've never played it. My friend gifted it to me, and
it's a really good game.
Yeah.
It really is a good game. And if you have it on Steam, they now have a ton of mods for it. So you can mod it up, play how you want. And it's got a couple of DLCs that are really, really good. I think 2 DLCs and what would be considered an expansion, Blood and Wine, I think. And it adds like another 20 hours of gameplay with the Blood and Wine expansion. So it's like a whole nother faction quest line or something like that, like you would have in Bethesda games. They've got the main quest line and then several faction quest lines, and each one of those is 10 or 15 hours. And so that's an expansion. Right.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm excited for play some new stuff. Starfield is it's my home game. It's my comfort game. I got 15 minutes. I'll sit down and muck around in the solar system a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm getting to the point where I'm getting itchy to play a little something different.
Yeah, let's mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of new stuff, though, not to get too ahead of ourselves, but this summer I'm going to have the usual kind of summer slump in my job. There's a little bit of although this year the summer slump's not going to be as bad, but I'll lose some hours a little bit, but that means more time at home, which means you and I are going to be doing some modding. We're going to finally get to the modding scene. And the way, but we're promising it for a while, but we're going to deliver. And I think what we'll probably end up doing, depending on how it works out, is we'll probably record ourselves on Discord. Just it won't be a super high polished production. Certainly not the quality of the podcast where there's all this bells and whistles. But it's just like, hey, this is basic. We're recording ourselves doing this. You can. I'll upload the videos to YouTube, of course, so you guys can follow along. We're going to primarily use J Ramos Works, as our foundation to get into modding. And in general, idea of what we have for mods is because there's 2 of us, and we want to keep our mods together. We'll publish them under the Starfield Report banner, so to speak. So it'll be the team of us. And what we'll do is we'll say make a mod where there's a computer that most of our mods will work this way. There's a computer, you go up to the computer, you interact with the computer. There's Kenny's option, Jax's option. So like if there's a weapon kit or something that we want to, like a little starter weapon kit, Jax's kit, Kenny's kit, right?
Mhm.
Kenny's crap and Jax's junk or whatever, right? And
Right.
so that way we both get to put in the game what we want to, and it's kind of pulling our resources and our brains together and to accomplish something. So we'll see how all of that works out.
Yeah, it's not knowing exactly how the CK works. These are kind of the dreams and fantasies that we've been having to. This is what we want to accomplish. So we've thought about it and talked about it a lot. Just don't know exactly how it's going to play out. But that's what we're looking to do.
Yeah. So we're gonna
get some stuff built out for you guys, and at the beginning, it's all going to be free stuff just to get our feet wet and see how this whole thing works. The whole modding thing works.
Yeah.
So
free, which also means not achievement friendly.
That's
but
true.
eventually we will figure a way to, obviously submit it to be achievement friendly, which means we'll have to charge for it. It's literally you have to have an achievement friendly thing.
Yeah.
So, but we'll keep those prices reasonable. I do have an idea for a larger mod that I don't know if I would have a free version of it out just because it's going to take a lot more work. But maybe I'll do a free one after a period of time. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun doing that stuff. And so that'll be, we're going to start that right after we finish the Terran Armada quest line. So in July here. And so instead of doing the faction quest walkthroughs, like we want to do Crimson Fleet next. And there's a very special reason, but I don't want to spoil that. We wanted to do that one next. We're going to have to push that down the road a little bit, but over the summer, as we're doing the modding, we'll still do our podcast videos. But I was talking to Jax about doing side quests. So that way each of our podcast episodes will have something to talk about. So we'll do like Failure to Communicate or Ground Pounder or some of the more popular side quests you can do. And so we'll still do the podcast, but then we'll also do the recordings of us doing our modding experience. So
the Starfield report learns.
Yes. Yep.
This will be our learning center.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh man. Yeah. Let's lose half our audience in one day.
Sorry.
I could lose all the audience actually if I wanted to because I'm libertarian, so I can piss everybody off in one sentence. I just want to go to my gay friend's wedding with my gun on my hip. Like, see the flag. The World Cup, by the way. World Cup. Go America. I'll cheer for Germany a little bit because
America, F yeah.
I've got a German friend. Oh, I've got a British friend too, or English. So I might cheer for them up until they face us. And then lose.
The soccer.
Apparently, the English players were having a hard time in the Florida heat. So the memes about that were like just on fire. Like, well, you don't do too well on this side of the ocean. Anyways,
we should be playing in I don't know, Wyoming or Maine or somewhere.
Yeah, you would. Well, yeah, I mean, because I think one of the venues is in New York. I think Canada actually. Most of the World Cup is in America, but I think there are some games in Mexico. In fact, I think Spain was playing in Mexico. And then I think there might even be some in Canada because it wasn't so much America, but it was North America, so to speak.
Yes.
So
okay. Yeah.
So and I think the finale is sometime in July. It's going to be like 6 weeks. And what's been really fun to watch is all the Europeans eating American food like barbecue. And smoked meats. They've never had it before.
Fried chicken.
Or they've never
fried steak.
They've never had it the way a Texan's supposed to cook it. They've never had it in Texas, right? So, it's like when you ever go to another country and they're eating food from another, I mean, unless you have somebody that was moved from, like just down the street, there's a Mexican restaurant, El Zarape, and they have the best what's it called? Total Brent. The pork. The pork. The red pork.
Yes.
Oh my God! Why can I not think of that? It's the pineapple. The pineapple. It's the pork that's on the vertical spit that spins, and they just slice it off. Oh man, I can't remember what that's called. This is gonna drive me
We went
nuts.
to an awesome barbecue place while I was in Dallas called Crazy 8, I think it was. And when you walk in and get in line, and there's like all these open barbecue pits, and you look over and there's like just slabs and slabs of ribs and you know, brisket and sausages and pulled pork, and oh man, we went there for lunch, and it was pretty good. I mean, there's like Terry Black's is like worldwide famous, the best barbecue ever, anywhere ever. I mean, I'm sure that's going to catch some pushback there, but it is Terry Black's is known, right?
Yeah.
So this place is not Terry Black's, but man,
Up there.
it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yep.
The meat I was thinking of, by the way, is called El Pastor. It's where it's marinated in like a red chili sauce. A lot of times their pineapple is a part of it, and then they cook it like that. So on the side here, that's the fire, and so it slowly rotates, and then when you're ready to eat some, they'll just
like a Greek
shave it off.
Kind of same way.
Yeah. I will say though, literally the best corned beef sandwich I've ever had at an Irish pub was not made by an Irish person. Now, to be fair, I've not been to Ireland, and I have not had a proper, corned beef meal in Ireland. So, okay, so let's get that out of the way. If you're an Irish member of the audience, I'm a mutt, but I am primarily Irish and German. I do look forward to going to Ireland someday and having a proper corned beef meal every day while I'm there. But the best corned beef I've ever had was in downtown Old Sacramento. There's an Irish pub there, and the chef, she's a black gal, and I had to tell her that was the best corned beef I've ever had. It was a party in my freaking mouth. I had to sit down while I was sitting down to process what I was eating. It was so good. I was like, sister, you can cook, dude, because it was so good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So, all right, we've been rabbit trailing here. So, all right, next episode is next week. We're gonna hammer this one out. We're gonna do Unifier. We're gonna finish this Terran Armada stuff, because then we got some modding to do in July and some side quests. So, oh boy, a lot of fun on this episode. Another long one. I always think like, man, it was a short quest. We don't have much to talk about. Here we are, 2 hours later.
Yeah, that doesn't count the 2 or 3 hours a week that we talk about this on the side.
Yeah, on our morning commute. Well, you're already at work, but I'm on my commute. Yeah. So, alrighty, folks. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and be sure to subscribe to us on Discord YouTube, and of course, if you have any feedback, any pictures of your ships, we love ship pictures. Send any feedback in to starfieldreport@gmail.com. If you have pictures of your ship, we are required by Starfield Galactic Law to display them on our YouTube or our channel here. So if you send us pictures of your ships, you get them showcased, and you'll become very, very famous and rich.
Right. Internet famous.
So, all right, Jax, any last words?
Life is a participation sport, folks. Drive fast and take lots of chances.
All right. Well, folks, thank you again for joining us, and we will see you in the Starfield.
Then let me be the first to officially welcome you to the United Colonies Vanguard.